Okay, so for Terengganu MPP2 paper 1 question 8 is a question regarding simultaneous equations and also maybe coordinate geometry. So first, it state that the road traveled by car P, so I just highlight the road for car P, is represented by the equations 2x plus 6, and the road traveled by car Q is represented by another equation, which is x over 20 plus y over 10 equals to 1. This is actually named as intercept form, where 20 is actually your x-intercept and 10 will be your y-intercept. So continue with question. The question state that the car P travels with a speed of 80 km/h, or Q travels with a speed of 40 km/h. So for questions 8, it asks us to find the coordinates of collision points. So when they state collision point, is something similar to our intersections point. So to find our intersection point, we need to do simultaneous equation. So for P and Q, equations of P and Q, we do simultaneous equations. So we do it here. I will let y equals to 2x plus 6 be my first equation. I will let x over 20. So for this equation, it's hard for me to substitute, so I will just simplify it first. Times 20 on both sides, so I get x plus 2y equals to 20. Then this might be second equation. So I will sub my first equation into my second equation, which will get x plus 2, 2x plus 6 equals to 20. So you will get x or finally you get x equals to 8 over 5. So you need to find the coordinates, y coordinates for the collision point. So y will be equals to 2, 8 over 5 plus 6. And with this, you should get 46 over 5. So your coordinate of intersection is actually, or your coordinates for your collision point is actually 8 over 5 and 46 over 5. So it's 2 mark questions. So for 2 mark questions, you will get 1 mark when you do your simultaneous equation and 1 mark for obtaining the correct final answer. And for question B, the distance between car P and the collision point if the coordinates of the car Q is 20 and 0. So the original coordinates is actually 20 and 0. So they ask, what's the distance between the car P and the collision point? So it's something we need to relate to the speed and also time and also the distance. So they ask about distance. So we know about distance. We have a concept which is distance. It will be the speed will be equals to distance over time. So for P and Q, the speed are different. The distance will be different also, but the time will be the same because the time of collisions must be the same. Then they will collide at a particular point. So time should be equals to distance over speed. Yeah, this I call it speed. Okay, so I have a concept which is the time for P and the time for Q will be the same. So in order to obtain the time for P, I need distance over speed, and Q, I just need the distance of Q divided by the speed. So at first, I need to find the distance of Q. So the distance for Q will be equals to square root of distance of Q to the point, collision point, to the collision point. So I will just, the collision point is now obtain 8 over 5 and 46 over 5. So I will just use the distance formula, which is 20 minus 8 over 5 square plus 0 minus 46 over 5 square. So with this, you should get 20.57, or if you use the white color calculator, you should get in the exact form 46 sub 5 divided by 5 will be your distance of Q. So the speed of Q you have it, and the distance for P you don't have it, you need to find, and this speed of P you have it. So just bring our concept to the center. Moment, I'll bring my distance to my left hand side. Okay, so this is our main concept, which is my time for P, my time of collision of P will be equal to time collision of Q. So time is equal to the distance divided by the speed. So for the P, I don't know the distance for the P, but I know the speed of P will be equals to 80, equivalent to the distance for Q will be 46 sub 5 divided over 5 divided by the speed of Q is actually 40. So with this, I can get an answer. I should get 41.144, around value of 41.144. Yeah, so this will be the distance, or so that's all for these questions. So you'll gain 1 mark when you got the distance for Q. And maybe you get mark when you equate the equations, and you know how to use the concept, which is distance over speed, you get time, and finally you get marks when you got your final answer. So that's all for questions 8. We'll see you in question 9 later.